All right, this should be fun. Right on the edge of Reese Airport. It's kind of chilly. We're gonna lay the wing out. We got some decent winds today, so we're definitely gonna be reverse launching. It's cold. Last I checked, it was 37 degrees Fahrenheit, of course. So, whew, not a whole lot else to say. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, buddy. A little bit of moisture down here, so I'm trying to be somewhat cognizant of not getting a whole lot of stuff thrown around here. All right, baby, I don't want you going up yet. Let's see here. All right, baby. Don't go launching yet now. So we got some stuff here to deal with. Up we go! And down. Nope, down I said. Down I said. Down. Down. There we go. Down. Down. Because I did not want to end up in that water right over there. Come on now. Come on now. Nope. Alright, deflate. Whew. That's no joke right there. No joke. Alright. Once again, I've got the brakes. I shouldn't go anywhere here because I have the brakes. I have the brakes. Alright, come on down. Down now. Down. There we go. Yeah. A little life out of that thing. I'm not digging this. Alright, it's a little windy. Once I get her up, we should be okay. It's calming down. Laying out the wing wasn't all that much fun, but let's see what we can do. See how this goes. That was good all the way up until my engine died. I hit that throttle and she died on me. So, Shiza! Let's see how this goes.
And then I turned off my camera. No! And obviously I forgot to turn it back on. But here you can see me with the foot cam. I kicked that on for a few shots during the flight. Thought I'd get some of those. And turns out that's all I had. So for this particular flight, that's what you get. But don't worry, we're not going to end it there. I'm going to splice in a few of these shots from that first, well, I should say the 24th flight of mine, the first one of this day. And yeah, I'll splice in the next flight next, where I actually had cameras functioning. And I'm going to take a quick second just to say, hey, I appreciate you watching, first off. I mean, this is an awesome adventure for me. Happy to have some people to share this with, and you know, excited that you're here. Secondly, if you're not subscribed, you know, think about it. It helps me out. I'll be honest, it boosts my ego a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of a big deal. I don't know if you notice. Currently, I have 63 subscribers, so, you know, I'm famous on the internet, but not really. Nor is that honestly the goal. But hey, it's nice to see some support from people. And these videos at least take me a long time to produce. the reason I do it is A, I want to learn the craft. I want to learn how to edit videos a little bit better and learn as I go. So this is a great way for me to do that. And secondly, it helps me to learn as I'm looking over my footage, observing mistakes, observing wins, and really kind of celebrating that for myself. It's great, of course, to have some people celebrate that alongside of me. So yeah, if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a click, and it does help out. The other thing is, if you have questions, or observations, ways I can get better, things that I can improve on, I am all ears. My background is as a visual communicator, graphic designer, art director, that sort of thing. And so I'm pretty used to getting feedback and criticism. In fact, I enjoy it. So even better if it's constructive, of course. But happy to hear from you. Happy to hear about ways in which you think I can improve, observations that you have, how I can do better. I guess I'll also say the third rationale behind me doing these is, so I can look back and see my progression in the future. So I can learn from my own mistakes in the moment, but also maybe give myself an attaboy or a pat on the back later when I think, hey, you've done this. You look back and you see some of this progression, some of these changes, and some of the screw ups I do early on, and where I'm at now. Constantly improving, constantly finding opportunities to improve, which, hey, there's good and bad with that. But at the same time, I guess that's kind of life, isn't it? You never know everything. As soon as you think you do, you're going to get knocked off that pedestal quick. So, yeah, enjoying this process. And I guess those are the three main reasons that I'm producing these. To learn about the craft of video editing, to observe and share my progress, and yeah, it's fun. Thanks for being here. So I mentioned earlier that I took off just to the North of Reese Airport, and I came to the realization I've not actually explained exactly what I do for a living. So I'm actually the education director at the Academy of Model Aeronautics. And you ask, what is that? Well, let's start here. This is the actual International Aero Modeling Center that I'm flying over right here. It's 1,100 acres. Academy of Model Aeronautics was started in 1936 by some individuals that saw a need to kind of bring together like-minded individuals around model aviation. And today that embodies all different kinds of model aviation. I'm not going to get crazy into that here, but basically, if it's flying and there's not somebody in it, we are into it. So drones, multi-rotors, helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft, turbine jets, free flight, rubber band powered stuff. Down to paper planes and balsa gliders. We like all of it. And so yeah, it's a really awesome opportunity to be involved in that kind of an aviation profession. It's an association that's I want to say around 160,000 members right now across the United States. It really is a great place to work. Great to be involved in something that's as wholesome as model aviation can be. And of course, it's fun to be a part of the overall aviation scene, if you will. People kind of have sometimes overlooked model aviation and how it impacts aviation in general. But as far as inspiration, education, learning about different kinds of aircraft and how they perform, all the way to some of the cutting edge stuff and how electric VTOL, vertical takeoff and land aircraft, are going to change the scene. And of course, we've all seen drones as they've taken on more precedence in our world. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome opportunity to be a part of that. So here I am flying. This is actually the headquarters building. That's where I usually work down there. And it was right at closing time. So I was seeing some of my friends leaving there from the office. And actually, pulled out my phone and made a couple of calls as well to some friends to say, hey, take a look up when you leave today. I'm flying overhead. With the wind and the time of day, and of course the temperature, the site was not occupied this day, which is why I felt comfortable taking off there at the very southernmost end and kind of flying over the places that I usually fly from the ground with model aviation. So yeah, sit back and enjoy a different viewpoint of the IAC than most people get to observe. Yeah, I had a great time doing it. And then the white roofed building there to the right, that's actually the National Model Aviation Museum, the largest model aviation museum in the world, and there is more than one. So it's a pretty incredible place to stop by. Current museum director Michael Smith is an amazing dude and can wax eloquent about every object in that building, and there are thousands. It's really neat to be able to walk in and experience some of the history of model aviation. Really gives a feel for where we've been and the kind of people that are involved in model aviation. These are the people that are willing to experiment, willing to try things, willing to observe and learn. I mean, it's really, as an education director, it's an awesome opportunity to stand on the shoulders of those who have come before and try to learn those same lessons because they've kind of paved the path for us in aviation in a lot of ways. There's exhibits from NASA and their subscale team where they utilize model airplanes to do proof of concepts and to do real science and real learning and real innovation. And I think that's what excites me the most about model aviation, aside from, of course, the family aspect, the fun, the working with your hands, the building, the tinkering, the fixing when you crash, and the learning not to crash the next time in model aviation. I mean, it's all part of it. So it's a great hobby, one that I'm blessed to have been exposed to as a young man, and I'm trying to do the same thing for my kids right now. Oh, crap. Into the weeds. Oh well. Whew. That was a little bit gnarlier. That's okay. I'm gonna drop this off and come back and get it. That was fun. And now we text the wife. All is well.